troubling new signs of the cratering economy due to the pandemic. Sales at retail outlets nationwide plunged more than 16% last month, the biggest decline on record. JCPenney became the latest retail casualty of the pandemic when it filed for bankruptcy last night, joining the ranks of other major chains. This comes as more and more states are beginning to reopen in hopes of reviving the economy. At the same time, the House has approved a $3 trillion relief package. Michael George begins our coverage from what would ordinarily be a bustling Soho neighborhood of New York City. Michael, good morning.
Dana, good morning. The doors are closed, and at some luxury retailers, they're actually boarded up here in Soho for the 9th weekend in a row. Another 3 million Americans filed for unemployment last week, bringing the total number of unemployed to more than 36 million as much of the country begins the slow process of reopening. The hope is that, like the action at Churchill Downs in Kentucky, the U.S. economy will be off to the races as retailers in 2/3 of the states reopen for business. Churchill Downs reopens today.
Those who love horse racing, you're going to see some fantastic racing.
Social distancing will be very distant. No fans in the stands. But in hard-hit Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, stores are ready for shoppers. John Henney hopes people stop by his family-owned jewelry business.
We have disinfectant and we have ways that we can clean the jewelry before and after anyone tries it on.
In Florida, selective businesses like restaurants and salons are reopening. In New Jersey, beaches are open, but rides there are closed. And everywhere, safety is the priority. But at the Buzzard's Nest in Wisconsin, bar patrons packed in after the state Supreme Court overturned the governor's stay-at-home order.
It's been kind of boring sitting in my house. I love my fiance, but there's only so much we can handle of each other without having interaction from other people.
Increased reopening comes after a week that saw nearly 150,000 new cases of coronavirus in the U.S. and more than 9,000 deaths. While scientists warn the worst could still be yet to come, Missouri Governor Mike Parson is among politicians trying to strike a balance.
But I'll just stress this. You have to be able to fight the virus, and you have to be able to open up the economy. Those two things have to go hand in hand.
Federal data estimates 42% of recent layoffs will become permanent. Economists say 100,000 small businesses have already closed for good, and many more are vulnerable. At University City High School in Missouri, more than 100 parents held a parade for their graduating kids. Anything but traditional, but still a celebration.
It's just like a small sacrifice that we had to make for the safety of, millions of Americans.
In Oklahoma, the pressure's on to start football practice.
Talk of these schools wanting to bring players back on June 1st is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. I think if we bring our players in even one day before we have to try to start a season, I think it's the wrong thing.
But a return to normal will take much longer. Here in New York, the state hardest hit by the coronavirus, the state's stay-at-home order called New York Pause has been extended for at least another month. Michelle?
A lot for folks to handle. Michael, thank you.